Hey babes, I'm back with another YouTube video, and today I have some Pixie Crystal French tips for you guys, and I'm just gonna go through everything and exactly how I did them. So I did already push my client's cuticles back, and now using my fine grit sanding band, I'm gonna be removing all of the shine off my client's natural nails. Today, once again, we'll be using some non-C-curve square tips, and I actually been seeing that people don't be shaping these. Like, I've seen a lot of nail techs just put these on and then start applying acrylic, so that's kind of what I wanted to do today, just to kind of see what it would look like. So after applying these nail tips, I am just gonna straighten up the sides. I'm not really gonna shape it too much, but I am gonna also make sure that the nail tip is blended in with the natural nail as much as possible. After shaping these nail tips, I'm going to clean off all of her nails and apply my primer. Now for my primer and dehydrator, for the dehydrator, I just use regular 91% alcohol. After I use that 91% alcohol, I go on with 1 coat of my Young Nails Protein Bond and 1 coat of my No Lift Primer. Now that I fully have these nails prepped, the first thing I'm going to do is apply a very small bead of clear acrylic to my client's natural nail, and this does help with lifting. This is also going to protect all of your primer and your prepped nail. Now that that's all finished, for my first bead, I'll be placing it directly on top of the nail tip, and I'm going to make sure that the top of my bead is sidewall to sidewall before I start to create my smile line. This way, when I go in with my next bead, I don't have to worry about the nail tip showing. Now, using the tip of my brush, I'm just going to start to pull this acrylic down just a little bit and start to create the smile line with the end of my brush. So very lightly, I'm just pulling in the sides and making sure that the bottom of the smile line is round. And if it's not too perfect, that's okay, because after this we will be, of course, going in with our file and making sure this is nice and clean. Now for my second bead, I'll be placing this cuticle bead slightly away from the cuticle area so that I don't touch my client's skin. This way, when I start to push that acrylic into the area that I need it to be in, I don't have to worry about accidentally touching my client's skin. But if you do, that's okay, because you know, you can always go back in there and clean it out. For the next 4 nails, I'll be doing the same thing. And remember, before I apply any of my colored acrylic, I'm going to go in with a very small bead of clear on her natural nail. They do also have cutting tools for this. The only time I've used one of the cutter tools, I'm pretty positive I did it wrong, because the French tip came out horrible. And I think I ended up like, I don't know what I did to that nail. I remember it because it was on one of my friends. And I was like, girl, I'm about to try this. You know, it's supposed to be real easy. And it came out looking absolutely crazy. So one of my biggest rules for me when it comes to nails is don't try anything new on a client unless you absolutely know you could do it. Unless you're 95% positive that you could do it, don't do it. Because you don't want to do something and it come out wrong. How I was just saying I did it on my friend and it was ugly. You don't want to do that on like a new client or really anybody, friends or not, because don't nobody want no funky looking nail. So if you're not too sure if you could do it, I just recommend that you leave it alone and let them know, like, look, I can't do that. Because I'll be quick to tell somebody like, nope, we're not doing that. Also, I seen that you guys are really feeling the video of me eating the edibles and doing my nails, and y'all, them edibles were good. Not as in like the taste, because I don't know, edibles be nasty, but overall, like, the high was cool. Like, I didn't eat too many of them, so I wasn't like crazy high, but maybe next time I'll eat a little more, because we 420 friendly, so I'm used to kind of, being a little high and doing some nails sometime now and then. So it wasn't like a super challenge. So I think next time I'm gonna eat a little more. Now for my second bead, once again for the cuticle bead, guys, please place it away from the cuticle area. And you guys see that I'm just gonna start to lightly just push it up, just patting it up there. Once I'm finished, I'm gonna start to bring it down and blend it. And like I said, if you do need to, just use the tip of your brush to go ahead and clean up the cuticle area, because if there's any product touching the skin, it's gonna lift, guaranteed. I did also place another bead right here because I felt like the cuticle area was a little too thin. And when I'm filing this, of course, you don't want to run into any natural nail. When I first started doing nails, y'all, I used to have that problem all the time when it came to using the e-file, just accidentally like removing acrylic right there. And I would just end up putting like some cuticle stones. Like, oh, you want some, some free stones? Because I would be looking at like, what the, y'all. Another thing that really helped me master my French tip is when I first place that bead down, that very first bead, I do it on the nail tip, exactly where the nail tip starts or slightly above. This way I already know that there's acrylic covering the entire nail, sidewall to sidewall, and now starting from the nail tip, I could start to bring those sides in. Now, using my 80/80 grit file, I'm just going to start to clean up my smile lines, just going around all of the acrylic in that area. And y'all, I actually got something crazy to tell y'all, so just listen. All right, y'all, so maybe about 4 days ago, I had my first dispute on my Square app. So I was like, okay, where did this come from? And it was $35, so I knew it was a deposit. So I'm like, okay, maybe somebody booked their appointment and maybe they couldn't make it, or maybe they booked it by accident or wanted to book with somebody else and they're just taking their deposit back. Before I continue here, I'm applying all of my clear acrylic in all of the negative space, and I am using Mia Secrets Clear with their monomer. It's honestly my favorite system, and it's on Amazon, so it's super accessible and super quick shipping. All right, y'all, so on my Square account, it really wasn't showing me who made the, dispute. It was just giving me their card number. So I'm like, okay, who is this? Like, why is it not showing me the service? Then it shows me the service and the date, and it was for February 15th at like 2 p.m. or something. So I'm like, February 15th? I'm like, that passed. I'm like, did I do her nails? Did I have a no-show that day? But I always take videos of all my nails. So I'm like, let me just go back to my camera roll. So then I see who it is. And then I go on Instagram first to see if she texts me, or like, I don't know, say her nail fell off too soon, or like just trying to see what was the cause of the dispute. And it also asked me to message her before I fought the dispute, because I was going to fight it. I'm like, look, that's my $35. But I was like, let me just see first. So I was about to text her, but then I stopped myself and I confirmed it was her with her card on my scheduling app. Now, here's the thing. when I was going in our messages on Instagram, I had seen that this one time she came way after the grace period. Like, regardless of me telling her, like, I have another client, like, she's like, oh, it's my birthday, like, can you please, blah, blah. I'm only 3 minutes away. 3 minutes ended up being probably like 15, and I was super pissed because when she came, I wasn't rushing, but I was just moving like a little fast with my, I guess you could say, we're putting stuff away. Like, if I was done with it, it gotta go away right now because I don't need to do any extra cleaning when she leaves because I was already on like a short amount of time. And I remember this so perfectly because she had told me to like take my time, and I looked at her and I'm like, what? Oh yeah, I was so angry when she said that, but I was just like, whatever, like, let me just let it go. It's not that serious. But I did ban her from booking. I'm not gonna lie, like, I just banned her from booking. I'm like, whatever. So when she came back the second time and I seen those messages above it, I was like, did I block her? But then I'm like, nah, I couldn't have blocked her because then how did she come back? So I just had to let it go. So when she came back this time, keep in mind, y'all, the first appointment was like last year, May. So her second appointment was, I'm gonna say January, and now February is the appointment that she disputed for. So when she came in February, she came without a mask. And now I'm like, didn't I block her? I'm like, I guess not, because she booked. And then I was looking at her appointment and her name, and I only seen that appointment in the previous one. So I'm like, she came before this? Because I'm seeing messages, but I'm not even really thinking too much about it. I'm like, whatever. So when I go to re-block her, because I ended up sending her the money back because it was $35. Like, if you're filing for the dispute and it's been, a little bit over a week since I did your nails, maybe you really need the money. Like, who knows? I asked my parents what I should do. They was like, give her money back. So I decided to send it back. So after I sent it back, I went to go and, banned her from booking because I'm not really too sure what she did that for. And I'm like, let me just search her name again. Like, let me search the number to see if 2 names pop up. So 2 names did pop up. And because she had like an apostrophe somewhere in her name, when she put it in my booking app without it, it registered as a new person. So when I went to the original, account, it's blocked. I did block her. So I'm looking like, wow. So I blocked you. You probably seen that you were blocked when you tried to rebook. Then you do this, come back and dispute the deposit after the service was finished. Keep in mind, y'all, she booked for Valentine's Day nails, but since it was after Valentine's Day, I was like, girl, you don't gotta, pay any extra. Let me do my thing. Like, I'm just gonna do my thing because I was in a good mood and I wanted to freestyle. So she got way more than what she paid for. Like, it wasn't really too crazy, but they were super cute. Like, I really did. And they're on my Instagram, actually. So I was just kind of like, wow, like, what they be doing this for? So yeah, y'all, that happened like some days ago. And once that happened, I was sitting there, I was like, I gotta tell the girls this, because you really do have to be, careful with these disputes and stuff. At first, when I seen the dispute, I'm like, is this for like something on my website? Like, I'm thinking this is for like something on my online store. I'm like, why would somebody dispute it? Like, because I've sent out all orders. So when I seen it was $35 exactly, I'm like, this has to be a deposit. All right, y'all, moving on here, I'm using my 5-in-1 bit to seal the cuticle area. And you really do want to make sure that you do a good job while you're doing this, because you don't want any lifting. Now, if you're a little nervous about cutting your client's cuticles up, I do recommend using this, because there wasn't too many times that I cut somebody. But this one time, I just had a client that was really nervous about getting cut. And she was so nervous, ended up cutting her. So after that happened, I was like, I need to get a safety bit, just in case. Because like I said, you don't want to cut anybody. And this is perfect for beginners. Now that that's all finished, I will be shaping the side walls of these nails. And I'm also going to file all of the acrylic that's on my smile line and the nude part of the section off. So I'm pretty much going to continue to file down the nail until I feel like it's smooth. And once I know it's smooth, I know that all of the clear is off of the nude acrylic. And then I'm going to go back to the sidewalls and continue to shape. Here, I'm using some buffers that I got from my local nail supply store. but I actually found their website, so I'm going to link the buffers down below as well. Lastly, I'll be using this diamond gel that I got from a cart. This will be linked down below, and I also have a code for their store. So I'm just going to apply my diamond gel on all of the clear, and if anything touches the nude, I'll just move it with the back of my brush. I'll also be placing some rhinestones and some of these golden butterflies into the gel before I place my pixie crystals. Using the end of my brush, I'm going to kind of push all of the pixie crystals back onto the nail from the side because it starts to look real wide if you don't kind of like move some of those stones that's on the sidewalls off. So that's what I'm going to do after I pour them, and then that's when I'll use the back of my brush to remove some of the rhinestones that's on top of the nude acrylic. I will also be curing each nail for 60 seconds, so I'm pretty much just going to alternate between hands. Now that is finally finished, I'm just gonna go in with my D&D top coat, and that is all that I have for you guys today. I really do hope that you guys did enjoy this YouTube video. I really did love how, you know, these came out, and I wish I would have been did these. So if y'all did enjoy this YouTube video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.